I think basically they're zoomed pretty closely into here. So what I'll do is, after I introduce myself, I'll get out, I'll step to the side a little bit there, and then I'll introduce each of you, your children, stuff like that. I'll go, since I'm the youngest and I'm already up here, who was able to attend remotely in Germany, in California, Florida, Texas. We thank you very much for attending Mom's funeral. And I wanted to introduce everybody, starting with my brother Kurt, my closest brother, 8 years older than me, and then his son Jason, and Kurt's wife Mina, and then, let's see, after Kurt, Bob. I know the Gardners know these guys pretty well and stuff like that from at least Bob's funeral, if not seeing us in Florida and stuff like that. But particularly if some of you are still on from Germany, you may only know maybe a couple of us, Pete later for sure from the 50s, even before they moved. Bob, my brother Bob, 7 years older than Kurt, my brother Bob, and his wife Amy, and their daughter Brittany Biggs. So thank you again for attending. Thanks, guys, for being here and meeting all the fetal relatives and Gardner relatives, and then Pete and his stepdaughters. So this is the person that the German family will probably know best, although they might have a hard time recognizing him since he might have been 2 when they saw him before he left Germany. Peter Vitega and his stepdaughters Noelle and Angie. Or Angie and Noelle, whichever you prefer. They're twins. Yes, they're twins. And thank you, Pete, for doing the eulogy. I know that's really hard. Thank you for doing that.
That was different. But at least I got it through this time. Dankeschön to alle in Deutschland.
And then Greg. Oh, and where are my kids? If somebody could maybe call Laura, I don't know, they apparently didn't follow us. If they could call Laura's cell phone. So sorry, Greg, I didn't mean to interrupt, Greg. Come on up. Now let's see. We went up 8 years to Kurt, 7 years to Bob, 1 year to Pete. I might have forgotten to mention that when Pete came up. And then between Pete and you, 1 or 2 years? 1. Just 1 year. Okay. 1 year up to Greg Biggs. Again, he was one of Dad's 4 that Mom became children by marriage in 1961. Right?
Assume the burden.
So thank you, Greg, from Texas. And then Lee, 2 years older than Greg, right? Oh, just 1 again. So it's a jump. It's a 2-year jump to Jim. Okay, I think. Just 1 again? Oh, they're all 1 apart. Okay. Yeah. This is my brother Lee from Atlanta, Georgia, and we're thankful that you were able to come up.
I'm glad I was able to
be here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing all you've done for organizing all.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And then the grandpappy of them all, brother, the big one, the one we all bow down to and do everything he says no matter what.
None of that's true.
My brother Jim, who, like some of my older brothers, when I was little, I didn't get to see a lot because they lived in far-flung places, Lee, Greg, Jim. But then Jim, in the last few years, lived here in Evanston until recently, and so he actually did spend a lot of time with Mom, much as Kurt, well, Pete, of course, was always in town. Kurt was in town. He would visit a lot. Bob and Amy, whenever they would come, they visited a fair amount as well. Of course, Bob and Amy were with her in Florida as well before that. But in the last few years, Jim visited Mom a lot, went through the photo albums and learned a lot of the stories. And Mom, of course, really loved, telling the stories. So thank you very much. And Jim?
Angelika Friedman.
Angelika. Grüß aus Deutschland.
Angelika. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, if they will double time it up here, my family, who neglected to come in with all the other families. Christy, you come up too. My wife, Laura, my younger daughter, Amanda. My older daughter will be here in a minute. This is not my older daughter. This is my mother-in-law, Christy, Laura's mother. And Joe, why don't you come up too? You might come a little closer to the podium. I'm not exactly sure how big it is, the view. This is Katie, following Laura's footsteps as a civil engineer. And Joe, also a civil engineer, Katie's boyfriend. So thank you, everyone, for attending. I hope you're still online to see this part. Again, we love all of you and really appreciate. Your thoughts for Gisela today. Thank you. There's a reason I didn't put myself up for the eulogy.